Welcome back to another edition of Game On with Alex Parr. Now, with the first episode being under our belt, we're feeling pretty good, and we thank everyone who tuned in for doing just that. Today's episode does tie in a lot more locally. Sioux College Cougars Ryan Benjamin joins GameONN analyst Matt Stefano as he has been newly appointed captain of the team coming off his previous season leading the team in points. I've also stopped by every high school that is participating in the senior football season to speak with their head coaches, and today's episode will feature Tom Annett, head coach of the Cora Colts. Matt and I also put our heads together to discuss the Erik Karlsson situation and potential landing spots. A busy day for the guys of Game On, so stay tuned. The news reads will be on right after this. And welcome back to ONNtv. Now, as promised earlier, I brought in the man, the myth, the legend, Matt Stefano in to talk a little bit about one of the NHL stories that's been on a lot of people's minds, article after article after article about it, the Erik Karlsson tirade. So, Matt, first question I have for you now, is there any way Erik Karlsson can continue playing in Ottawa, or are we pretty certain that he's done there?
Well, I think right now Erik Karlsson is kind of caught in the middle. I personally think he's going to start the season with the Senators. He got married in Ottawa. He likes it in Ottawa. He likes playing for that team.
He's the captain.
Exactly, and he's been the captain there since 2014-15 season. But the thing with Erik Karlsson is these last few years, he's had a lot of trouble, with his newborn son and, that other lady accusing him of what happened.
Wife.
Exactly, yeah. So I think that he's just got to erase all that stuff that happened and carry on with the season.
Now, the thing is, as well as with Karlsson, is he's such a good player, and he's only making $6.5 million. Are you picking him up with the intentions of trying to keep him on for another year, sign him on for, he's going to ask for upwards of $10 million potentially. If he goes somewhere, do you think there's a chance of him being able to stay there, or is he going to be coming with too much money?
Well, I think the money part is going to play a factor in that, because I think that he may finish the season with the Senators. Again, he was almost out this past season because at the deadline, the Vegas Golden Knights wanted him. They almost had him. The asking price was too high, and a lot of people are wondering, why didn't this guy go to Vegas? Was it because of off-ice issues, or was it because, the asking price was too much? So, again, I think he wants to remain in Ottawa right now and hopefully help them make the playoffs.
I think Ottawa's management's just kind of mismanaged the situation to the point where it's over and done with. It's time to just move on, continue what Ottawa's doing with what they have, let Karlsson move on. There have been rumored landing spots for him, such as Tampa Bay, because he would love to play with Victor Hedman, a fellow Swede, on the defensive pairing, and that would make for an absolute insane defensive pairing. Vegas Knights, like you were saying, are also a rumored destination with all the prospects, the picks, and the cap that they have. They could fit him in, especially, like I said, he's only making $6.5 million. If you had to pick one spot that he would be favored to land, where would you say that would be?
I'd have to say Vegas would be the favorite spot because, again, Vegas almost had him, and I could see him fitting in, with Colin Miller on there. That would be a good defense partner with him right there because, top scoring defenseman. And when you look at Erik Karlsson's stats since he's been with the Ottawa Senators from 2009, he actually led all NHL defensemen in points for 4 straight seasons from 2013 to 2017. This guy we know, he's a star defenseman. He's a future Hall of Famer. But the thing is, if he does continue with the Ottawa Senators, which people are wondering, is it going to happen? I think eventually he may end up out because when you look at the Ottawa Senators' history, they've had some rough luck with their captains in the past. Alexei Yashin, he was upset because he wasn't getting offered more money. He ended up sitting the entire 1999-2000 season, and then he ends up getting traded to the New York Islanders back in 2001. And then you look a little bit further, Jason Spezza.
Yep.
Some people thought he had a bit of an attitude problem off the ice. Gets traded to Dallas in the offseason back in 2014. And then Daniel Alfredson, a guy that basically played his whole year with the Ottawa Senators, captained them for many years, and then on Canada Day of 2013, July 1st, he ends up signing with the Detroit Red Wings. So when you look at the past of the Ottawa Senators, they lost their captain, so I think maybe Karlsson eventually will be in the same situation.
And myself personally, I don't think there's any way that the management team with Ottawa can hang on to this guy and let him walk for nothing. If he does get traded, which I think is the only smart move Ottawa has left, how much would it take to get him? Usually for a player that's as sizable as Karlsson is, take something like a prospect, a pick, and usually a roster player. Is that, I think it might even take more. What would you say it would take to get Karlsson in a trade?
Oh, I think the trade package for Karlsson, for whoever gets him, they'll definitely have to give up a first-round pick, because he was a first-round pick in the NHL, maybe a second and a third, a couple prospects, and maybe a young defenseman and a younger forward. So I'd say picks are required in that too.
It is also only for 1 year of his service. You really think it's going to take three picks, 2 prospects, and maybe even a roster player to get him?
Well, I think so, because again, like, this guy's a superstar player. He's one of the best defensemen in the league, and some people might even think he's the next to Nicklas Lidstrom, because I remember when Nicklas Lidstrom retired from the Detroit Red Wings, a lot of people were saying, who's going to be the next Nicklas Lidstrom? It's Erik Karlsson.
And he's got a great chance at that. Now, Matt, thank you so much for joining me in here, but we'll have more Game On right after this. Earlier in the week, I stopped by the Cora Colts field to speak with Tom Annett, head coach of the senior football team, as a part of my short football tour around the city. He speaks highly of his revamped culture of the program and is extremely encouraged by the team he has on the field. So what are some of the last-minute preparations going into that? What have you guys been working on? Obviously, you can't give us everything, but maybe a little bit.
Well, pretty much everything's installed now except for a couple specials. Now we're just looking at fine-tuning the execution, the timing, and the speed of everything we're doing.
And something I'm really impressed with is I was here maybe 3-4 years ago now, and this field is completely revamped. Do you want to talk a little bit about the different kind of things that have been upgraded here that have maybe been able to help you on the field?
Yeah, it's fantastic. We got all new field here, completely redone, resodded, new uprights, new paved track. The shed just got done this summer, which is massive for storing our equipment, and it's got electricity too. Over there's a bunch of new equipment too, sleds, chutes. So I mean, we're really excited about what we got here, and we got the luxury of going indoors next door too when it rains. Sometimes we didn't today, but not too many schools in Ontario have that. So we're really lucky, and I think our administration and the Algoma District School Board is very supportive, and we're really appreciative.
Now, one thing I'm curious about is the fundamentals that are taught on the field are usually something the coaches want the players to carry through with the rest of their lives. What are some things you really hope stick with these players when you are coaching them?
Well, we had, I guess, an epiphany a few years ago where we really tried to change the culture here, and it started where we asked the players, you know, what values do you think best define our program, or do you want to best define our program? And we did interviews with players, we sent out an online poll, and we came up with 5, and they are commitment, compete, toughness, teamwork, and family. And almost everything we do kind of centers around those core values. We're constantly preaching them, we're intentional about them, and those are lessons that these kids can obviously apply to football, but more importantly, they'll carry over to their lives.
And one final question here for you. Obviously, with the game so close, who are some players we should be keeping our eyes on, and who are some players you maybe think people are sleeping on who will make a big impact?
Well, we got a lot of talent this year. We're returning our quarterback again. Jordan Robinson-Wright is a grade 12 student. He was the starter for the Sioux Sabercats, so he's got a lot of potential. Nick Gervaisi returns at running back. I think anyone who played last year is familiar with him, one of the top backs in the league. Jacob Jurich is going to lead the defense. He's one of the top linebackers in the summer with the Sabercats. I think he led that team maybe in tackles too. So those are excellent players. We got a few really talented newcomers in grade 11. Receiver Noah Graisley and receiver Tyler Breakin are really talented. There's a lot of guys. Jordan Polichicho returns too on the O-line and at defensive end. He's going to do an excellent job for us. And Aaron Karanen is another guy, a linebacker, and I have to say Zach Politano too is working really hard in the weight room this offseason. So too many guys to mention. There's more. I want to give everyone props, but those are all guys who I think really put in a lot of work in the offseason and are going to turn some heads.
The list goes on and on. I'm sure I'll be bugging you about these names in the future, so thank you so much for your time, Coach.
My pleasure.
And welcome back to Game On. Today in the studio, I have Sioux College Cougars men's hockey captain Ryan Vendramin. Ryan is getting set to enter his second season with the team. Ryan, it's great to have you in the studio today.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
You're welcome, man. So last year was your first season with the Sioux College Cougars. You led the team in scoring with 35 goals and 59 points in 13 games. And you also led them in power play goals with 5 and game-winning goals with 4. Talk about how your first season went for you in college hockey.
Oh, the first season was great. I was playing with a lot of great players, so it made it easy for me. And the coach staff was great. Everyone at the college was really good. And it was just too bad we couldn't go on a run last year because we were ineligible to go to nationals.
And you were named captain for the upcoming season. Last year, Tyler Brown was your captain. Talk about what you learned from Tyler Brown in your first year and how it feels to be named captain for the upcoming season.
Yeah, it feels great. As soon as Coach Hall told me I was going to be captain, I was really looking forward to it. It's really exciting news, and yeah, I got some big shoes to fill with Tyler. He taught me a lot last year, and I'm looking forward to it. We got a great group of guys.
And you also have some experience playing in the OHL. You were drafted by the Sarnia Sting in the 13th round back in 2012. You played 20 games with them. Talk about how your OHL experiences helped you in your career.
Oh yeah, it's helped a lot. Obviously, I didn't get much of a chance there, but I feel it translates to this level really well, and just trying to keep playing hockey as long as I can, and hopefully keep it up.
And you're also this will also be your second year attending Sioux College. You're taking the Police Foundations course. Talk about how that course is going for you and what you're liking about the college so far.
Oh, I love it. The teachers are great. Everyone on my program's great from day one, and I'm loving the program, and can't wait for the rest of this year.
And this summer, you were named to the ACHA Selects hockey team, and you're going to be heading to Russia from September 28th to October 8th, and you're going to be the only Canadian player on that team. How does that feel for you?
Yeah, it feels really good. As soon as I found out, I was super pumped, and I was actually in Albany, New York, 2 weekends ago, practicing with the guys. We were on the ice. We were there for 4 days. On the ice 6 times, and it was a great group of guys and really good players, so we're all looking forward to when we go away. It should be pretty fun. We're playing a team from China, a team from Sweden, obviously Russia, and then other teams too. It's going to be a good experience. I'm really looking forward to it.
And your coach, Mike Hall, this was a guy that coached you as a teenager during your years with the Sioux North Stars. You played with him from 2011 to 2013. You won back-to-back championships. Did you think you were going to be coached under him again this past season?
No, I had no idea. I didn't even think I'd be coming to Sioux College, and then to be playing for Coach Hall again, it's great. You know, he's a great coach. Love playing for him, and everyone. I think I'm speaking for everybody. He's just a great coach to have, and everyone on our team is looking forward to this year, and we're pretty fired up.
And since you played with him back then in 2013, you were a teenager back then. Have you noticed any change in his coaching systems now that you're in your early 20s?
Yeah, this year we're going to change it up a bit, but from last year it was pretty similar, but this year we're going to change it up a bit, and for the most part he's pretty similar. Yeah.
Thank you very much, Ryan, and good luck in Russia. Safe travels, and good luck this upcoming season with Sioux College. Ryan Vendramin, captain of the Sioux College Cougars men's hockey team, getting set to enter his second season. We'll be right back to Game On right after this.
And that's it, the second episode of Game On in the books. A big thank you goes out to both Tom Anna and Ryan Vendramin for allowing us their time to ask them some questions. And as always, you can catch Game On Tuesday to Friday at 8:30 p.m., where you will find myself and Matt diving into local sports coverage, national sports coverage, and of course the rest around the world. Thank you again for tuning in, and we will be seeing you tomorrow. And that's it. You found yourself at the end of another Game On video, but there's more. If you're looking for more Game On content from Matt and myself, you'll be able to find exactly that right here.